Albion Online just released another dev talk talking about open world improvements, and let's see if this safe portal is actually safe for everyone. Let's see it. Albion Online.
Hello and welcome to another Albion Online dev
Hello,
talk.
Robin.
Today it's time to introduce Horizons, Albion's next major update and the fourth in our effort to release one update per season.
Okay.
The Horizons update focuses on two major directions. On the one hand, it's a significant step towards a more lively, accessible and rewarding Outlands experience, as well as a general step towards more challenging PvE in the game.
So,
on the other hand,
if you look at this,
the general step
if you look at the bottom right corner of your screen right here, ladies and gents, they're essentially just bringing the Mist camps to open world. That's essentially what they're doing, and I'm all for it,
PvE
actually.
In the game. On the other hand, it offers significant quality of life improvements for inventory management.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Yes! I love you, Robin. I love you so much. Yo, look at this. Oh. I don't even know how to react. Look at that. So beautiful. It's so beautiful. I'm going to cry. You have your sort for weight as well. You have your icon slots. Oh my gosh. Like, yo, dude. I wish this was a fake reaction. This is my first time watching this. Oh my god, yes, SBI. Yes!
And takes a major step towards being able to customize your Albion experience.
Okay, so this is one thing that we have to talk about. Like, y'all are going to get crazy with this, I'm pretty sure. You can change your UI, your HUD editor, right? And you can add this. This is one of the things. I hope you can see where my mouse is hovering right here. This is one of the things that a lot of players, ever since I started playing this game, that they're like, let me see all the debuffs. I do not need to know if I'm marked locked, if I can only go through Limhurst portals. I don't need to know if I have 10% more fame. I don't need to know that. Give us the buffs, the debuffs that we have or the enemy has, so that we can see. So you can now toggle this and like see all of the debuffs, all of the buffs. All right. One of the things as well is this one right here, the spell group, which is hopefully we get to see. We get to see how it works. We play around with it in like a test server or something like that. And also, this is one thing right here, the cast bar. This is something that no one really talks about. The cast bar. You can now move your cast bar somewhere else, and you can shrink or increase the size of your minimap, which is pretty good.
To top it off, it introduces additional journal content.
Yeah.
With the Horizons update, we aim to bring the focus back to the Outlands, the lawless space in Albion filled with constant threats and opportunities.
Okay.
We face several challenges in the Outlands. How do we make this place attractive to solo players and small groups?
Yeah.
And how do we make sure that controlling space in the Outlands remains a major asset for guilds?
Okay.
To answer, let's dive right into the features. First, we have the Safe Portal. This experimental gate, found in each portal town, uses a crude replica of Avalonian technology to offer a single-person instant teleportation to a
single person. Let's do that. Let's redo that.
Replica of Avalonian technology to offer a single-person instant teleportation to a random Outlands cluster within its range. A silver fee.
Within its range? Okay, what range? And also, baggage cost. Single person anywhere, fudge everyone
is required based on your equipment and items.
Ooh, I like that. Dude, this is a good silver sync. This is a really good silver sync.
A silver fee is required based on your equipment and items. Players can return through the portal to the city within 90 minutes, or they have to walk back.
Or journey back. 90 minutes. That is pretty good. So that's a long time. So this is a single player. You can just teleport randomly. So this could be really good for PvE, PvP, solo ganking maybe, gathering 1000%, gathering 1000% for gathering. Think of it as they said, it is the portal from the Avalonia Road to the Avalonia Roads from Brazilian. So it is actually really good for solo players. You don't need to, just go out of the zone and be ganked on your way to a new zone, to like a deeper zone. And let's look at this. What is this? Is this a bug? Or is this a feature? Look at that, 0 to 6. Black zones don't tell you how many hostiles there are, because everyone can just attack anyone. But 0 to 6, it shows you a counter? Interesting.
They also cannot pick up any items from containers or trade with other players.
Oh, okay.
This feature skips...
Wait, let me see that again.
Any items...
Retrieving items from a bag or chest will disable your journey back ability and removes your safe portal binding.
Containers
Cool.
Or trade with other players. This feature skips the long walks into the Outlands and puts you straight into the action. However, owning a hideout in the Outlands remains a major advantage.
Yes.
The portal also helps spread the population across the Outlands, making remote areas feel more lively. Next, we introduce dynamic solo and veteran mob camps. These camps offer a treasure chest guarded by mobs from the local NPC faction. To claim the chest, players must kill mobs worth a certain amount of fame within.
So this is just the mist camps.
In the camp. The camps change their location and are active for a limited time. Since the camp's mission can only be completed once, players will need to travel the Outlands to find more.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Oh, it's an ever-evolving map design. That is awesome. That is awesome. So it changes over time. So it's only limited. You cannot camp the camps. Ooh, that is actually really good. And this is meant for groups. So I'm assuming these are like group dungeon level mobs. Like, you shouldn't be able to solo this easily. Hopefully. Because it's meant for small scale.
Our goal is to make these camps quite rewarding. So trying to clear all camps in a cluster and moving on to the next should be a viable playstyle.
Dude, we are going to do this. I think we're going to do this.
Supporting these camps, we're introducing new crystal creatures, the crystal beetle and a crystal cobra. And we're increasing the spawn rates for all of them. Additionally, they're now marked only in proximity, not on the entire map.
Okay, so they're taking that mist concept as well. Adding a beetle? Why a beetle? That's such a weird choice. A snake, I understand, but a beetle? So they're taking that concept from the mist, where it only is visible to proximity. You cannot be like just jumped on right away, similar to how small chests and medium chests, right? Just no longer map wide, as Tang says. And it's pretty cool. And do you think this is going to go into like a new crystal weapon? Because, crystal spiders don't really give anything. It doesn't have like a spider weapon. The Duskweaver armors are not really that. So a spider and a cobra and a beetle?
Finally, the rewards have been adjusted based on their higher availability. These changes make crystal creatures a kind of roaming mob for groups, providing a good income rate alongside veteran camps and veteran group dungeons. With the safe portal, the dynamic mob camps, and the new crystal creatures, we aim to establish new playstyles in the Outlands, offering new alternatives for solo and small-scale players. To add to this...
So solo and small scale, he said. Solo and small scale. So I guess you can still solo these.
And to increase competition for the inner Outland zones, we're introducing reward and difficulty scaling with cluster quality. The closer to the center, the higher the quality of clusters.
Yes.
We're also rebalancing mob power throughout the game to catch up with recent increases in player power, starting with plus 9% damage and health on tier 5, up to plus 42% on tier 8. Rewards are also increased for these mobs and chests, bringing back some truly challenging PvE to Albion.
Pause. Does that mean solo dungeon at tier 8 like being 42% more difficult to clear? How does that scale though to the rewards? Because they did say it is going to increase. Is it also going to be like a 42% increase in loot? Because loot in solo dungeons for the past 3 years or so are just doo-doo. There's like once in the blue moon, you get like a really good legendary chest. But most of the time you get blue and it's like 20k. So, yeah, maybe there are camps that are solo and group. Smaller camps for solo, like larger camps for groups. Yeah.
Excluded from these changes are elite enemies, Avalonians, corrupted dungeon mobs, and Hellgate opponents.
Okay, that makes sense.
Since these changes mostly affect the Outlands value, we're also offering more for Royal Continent players.
Okay.
Some tier 5 yellow zones upgrade to tier 6, and some tier 4 blue zones to tier 5. This expands tier 6, and some tier 4 blue zones to tier 5.
So this is one of the things that they talked about. You now have a tier 5 blue zone. So if you are like a blue zone player, you can just stay in the blue zone. And even tier 5. Tier 6 yellow, yeah. Tier 6 yellow and tier 6 red. Which I think is odd. If you have tier 6 yellow, obviously you can gather tier 6 resources. Yeah, fishing bots. Tier 6 red has higher risk, higher reward. But won't you just stay in the tier 6 zone yellow if you're like a super safe player and not risk it? Because a tier 7 red might be worth it. But a tier 6 yellow, the existence of a tier 6 yellow and a tier 5 black zone kind of just breaks my head.
This expands safe content for players who prefer to avoid PvP. But with the new reward levels in the Outlands, the black zone will remain attractive.
Okay, so that is a really good change though. Like they improved the rewards in the black zone significantly and kind of just like trickled in a couple of the rewards into the yellow zone and the blue zone. But yeah, tier 6 yellows are definitely going to get farmed really hard. And like hopefully bots don't figure that out, but they definitely will.
For those of you
later we're going to have like the tier 8 blue zone. I mean,
worried about the resource influx from these zones, the overall tier 5 and tier 6 resource output from these zones is negligible. And to make improving your gathering abilities in the Outlands more attractive, we're increasing fame gained when gathering in full loot PvP zones.
Okay.
There's also new resource hotspots.
Wait, he said gathering fame
in full loot PvP zones.
Wait, he said gathering fame, not
and to make
the number of resources.
Your gathering abilities in the Outlands more attractive, we're increasing fame gained when gathering in full.
So just fame gained, not more resources.
Loot PvP zones.
Yeah, there's definitely going to be that tag.
There's also new resource hotspots in the Outlands, which use the same randomization technology as the dynamic mob camps.
Okay.
Lastly, we're updating veteran dungeons. Despite being designed for 5 players, they've become inefficient for groups and far too favorable for solo players.
Yes.
We are returning the focus of these dungeons to their intended group size by rebalancing.
You channel now? Wait, that's a new thing. You channel. You can no longer use this as escape for ganking.
We are returning.
Like most of the time when you're escaping from gankers, you go in and get the bubble. But now you have to channel.
Group size by rebalancing their rewards and adding a significant group bonus when playing with others. Overall, this should lead to a significant boost for group rewards. Additionally, entrances will now close shortly after.
No! No, no, no! No! Let's not do this! Let's not do this! Let's not close stuff! Let's not close stuff! This is what killed the rewards for solo dungeons. But they're saying, it closes, but they increase the rewards.
Opening, similar to solo dungeons, allowing full PvE focus. We know this removes an opportunity for small-scale fights in the open world, so we're introducing a player count indicator in the Outland clusters. It shows a range, not an exact number, but it helps players to gauge how busy a zone is to assess the risk of engaging in PvP combat.
They're making the Black Zone super safe, man. They're incredibly safe. Like, yes, they introduced tier 6, the yellow zone, tier 5 blue zones, but I think they were really smart with making people go out into the black zone, because right now it's incredibly safe. It's incredibly safe. The group dungeon closes, so you can just wait. You have your counter on the map, which was one of the things that made the black zone the black zone. Red zones had that hostile counter, because you need to know it's a red zone still. It's not like your maximum level zone. But I think this makes it too safe. It makes it incredibly safe. I'm not a big fan. Not a big fan of this. But a lot of casual players, as Stank says, will definitely make use of this. It's really good for casual players, like really, really good. As Stank says, PvE should be PvE, not PvE with a chance of PvP. But that's kind of what made Black Zone worth it. But this is in overall a good change for a lot of casual players. Hardcore players, though, that dive a lot, it's bad news for you. A lot of veteran players, a lot of PvP players will see this as like SBI being a little too soft, a little too soft in the black zone. But at the same time, casual players are going to love this. Hopefully, more players get to play the game because of this, and in turn increase the revenue for Albion Online because more players play it. They don't die a lot, and they just spend more money, hopefully.
We feel this is an essential tool to help players commit to small-scale PvP fights in the open world. In summary, this update brings significant changes to Albion's open world, introducing new gameplay loops, challenges, and a fresh experience. We can't wait to see what you make of these changes when the Horizons update releases. Stay tuned for our next Dev Talks, where we'll cover the rest of this massive update, including new journal categories and some groundbreaking convenience features.
Groundbreaking convenience features. Please sell quick sell order. Quick sell order. Bank all in quick sell order, please. Please. Have us like repair in our banks too, please. Oh wait, overall it's a good change. Overall, honestly, it's a good change. I really like the making it smaller slots for your inventory. I like the UI change. I like the save. The save portal is actually really nice with the 90-minute timer. Overall, I like it. Overall, I really love the change. And as I said, in the next coming update, which is going to be within a month, they are also going to introduce like some quality of life, groundbreaking quality of life changes. So I'm just hoping for bank all and quick sell order. That is going to be a game changer. I am not a big fan of the group dungeon closing, although I do not participate in diving group dungeons. I think it is an essential part of black zones being that risky. Although, with that change of a group dungeon not going to be dived anymore, you have that mist camp-ish camps in the black zone. So black zone camps, we'll call them. You do have that black zone camps that can make it more risky, right? You still have the avenue of ganking groups or small scale fights in the camps rather than those who are just group PvPing. So, overall, it's a good change. I am pretty sure one of the things that a lot of veteran players will point out here is just it's getting a little too safe in the black zone, especially with the counter as well. But I think overall for casual players, and I think that is the player base that SBI is targeting for this update, like the casual ones, not the hardcore ones, because there are more casuals than hardcores. And I think it's a really good change not for everyone, but for the overwhelming majority of the player base. These are like A++, S++ tier update. So that's it. What do you guys think about the new update? Leave them in the comment section below. Let's discuss. Exciting times for Albion Online, man. Honestly, exciting times.